What's up, guys? It's Rohan from Loopsat Records, and yeah, real quick, I'm gonna start, getting into some tutorials and stuff. Try to hit those PEVA numbers. You know what I'm saying? Now today we got some trap soul kind of stuff. I've been working on these loops for a while, and I wanted to show you how they're made, make a whole beat around it and stuff. So we got some Bryson Summer Walker stuff. Let's go. So first things first, I kind of want to apologize actually because the loop sounds a little bit different from what it'll sound like later in the full beat. I made this loop on my old laptop a while ago and I transferred some things over and some of the plugins updated and it just doesn't sound the same. I don't know what's up with that, but I tried recreating the sound as closely as possible, but in my opinion, the loop version, the wave version, is a superior version, and this just gives you an idea of how to make it essentially. So let's just get into it. Okay, so here is this version of the loop. Alright, so we're going to break this down one by one. Here's the pad. Essentially, I'm just playing some long-ass chords, and these just give the artist room to, kind of be heartbroken, croon or whatever, and it just makes it easy for them, like during a verse or something. So, this is what it sounds like, essentially. And, yeah, nothing crazy going on there. But where I do sauce it up a little is in these effects. Now, as you can see, I got a ton of effects. And on pretty much every instrument, I got a little bit of free reverb. It's like on the default settings. I haven't changed anything there. Got the EQ, cutting out the lows. That's just makes it easier for like the 808 or whatever bass you want to use later. And we got the bass in the loop too, so it's useful for that. I got a halftime, if it wants to load. Halftime, just adds a little bit of a dragging effect, lowers it an octave, just makes it a little more ambient. We got RC20, y'all know RC20, come on. Makes it kind of wider, makes it a little more wobbly, all that. Oh, this plugin is sauce. This plugin, I believe it's $20 on Initial Audio Store, and it's really good. It kind of covers a few of the bases that RC20 does, but it also has its own kind of unique flavor, and I often layer them too. I feel that kind of helps sometimes, but that's not doing shit. Apologies. Then we got Valhalla Supermassive, free plugin, really good. Get it from the Valhalla store. Essentially, it's kind of a combined decay reverb kind of thing, and it just has a few cool presets. So yeah, this is the one of the reverb presets. Essentially, I think it's just like a small reverb. It's already layered enough, and this pad is kind of reverby as it is, so yeah, that's the pad. Alright, now we move into the guitar, and yeah, kind of with the guitar is where things start changing. I used to have ampli guitars, AGG2 essentially. Now I have AGLP, which is the updated version, and honestly, man, I could not create that sound that I had before. But, it's okay. When I make the beat later, it'll sound the same, so here's what this sounds like. Let me solo that, yeah. Yo! CPU, yeah. So yeah, it's kind of simple, and just these little few notes add a lot more flavor to it. Make sure you're always randomizing these velocities a little bit. You're playing a little with slides and stuff like that. And this is a great guitar plugin for that, even though I've just kind of been, talking trash about it a little bit. But no, this one's really good. But essentially, here are the effects. And as you can see, I've plastered in effects just to make it as ambient as possible. Guitar rig, Guitar rig is just one of the dopest plugins for guitars, and not even just for guitars. You can just slap down anything, really make it sound good. We got some more RC20. You already know. Stereo shaper. So for some reason, guitar rig is great, but it kind of makes it sound a little more mono, makes it a little less wide. So to counteract that, I tend to add a shaper after the guitar rig every time. Pancake 2, another free plugin. This one is from Cable Guys, and yeah, it's really good. Pans your stuff left to right essentially, and it's just useful for making things even wider. Like, I wanted this loop to just feel like all encompassing, you know, everywhere. Like when you have your earphones on, like it's crazy. Analog Pro, you know, super massive. Then this EQ, I kind of tweaked it for this version of the loop, just because this guitar, for some reason, has a ton of distortion, and every preset I use just has a little more distortion than the one I had before. So I don't know, but yeah, that's that. All right, then I added this kind of percussive element to it. Now for these kind of beats, having like a filtered background kind of percussive thing just adds to the mood of the whole thing, you know. So I'm gonna play this right here for you, not the whole thing, but... Okay, so yeah, it's kind of, you kind of get that like Kanye Travis feel, you know, like in their interludes and stuff, but it's mostly there for like breakdowns and stuff. So I'm gonna get into the effects now, and yeah, as you can see, RC20, Analog Pro, Supermassive. I had my go-tos for this, and kind of for this whole loop kit, to be honest, I had a bunch of go-tos, and this was one of my number one go-tos. You know, the filter I mentioned is probably the most important thing. Kind of add like a low-pass filter on it and just play around with this button here, and you'll come up with something like really ambient, really nice, you know. Then yeah, this is essentially cutting out some of the high frequencies for the snare that hits in this beat. I didn't want it to hit as hard, so yeah. Then we got these vocals. These also sound really different. In this case, I have no idea why they sound different, to be honest. They just sound different. Just deal with it. You know, when we get to the beat, it's gonna sound a lot better. So yeah, that's what they sound like. Yeah, so pretty much that. Some of these effects, RC20, Analog Pro, Supermassive, just a low EQ here. I cut out some of the highs. I just be cutting out the highs, dude. It's just what I do, you know, so yeah. Then for this beat, I kind of decided to have two different basses, not even including, you know, whatever you're going to use in the beat, so the 808, whatever. So yeah, this is a bass guitar actually, and I just wanted to give it that kind of 90s feel, like just kind of like you ripped it from like a 90s song, you know. So I wanted to add like kind of an authentic-ish like bass guitar, so that's what that sounds like. So yeah, essentially I didn't want it to sound kind of like it was just doing the exact same thing throughout. I wanted it to be kind of like kind of a jazzy bass line. And it's not like crazy complicated or anything, but like these little cutoffs and stuff do help with like kind of bounce of the bass and all, you know. It's always important. For effects, I took it really easy on this compared to everything else. I got an EQ which kind of boosts the highs and stuff. Sorry, the highs, no, the lows. The lows. Boosts the lows, cuts the highs, and guitar rig. Guitar rig's great on basses too, so yep. Alright, now we have the synth bass here, and it's really basic, you know. It's the Growler Moog bass, right? Right? It's the Growler Moog bass? It's the Growler Moog bass from Omnisphere, and essentially you're just playing these three beats here. And you just do that every 2 bars, and essentially all that does just adds a little bit of like kind of flair, a little bit of bounce to like even like a interlude or whatever. These obviously don't play at the same time with the bass guitar, but effects, nothing pretty much. The exact same EQ I had on the bass guitar, cut out some of the highs, boost the lows. Yeah, and I mean that's the loop. That's really like all there was to it in terms of the master. I didn't apply anything, you know. Key was just to make it as ambient as possible, and you'll see what it sounds like in the beat version later, and it's so much better. Like, don't even trip. If you thought this was whack, just wait for the actual, the real version. Okay. All right, so here's the full beat. My boy Aakash Kadam came over, helped me with this beat, so shout out to him. He's gonna be editing this video later too, so good luck with that. But yeah, let's get into some of these drums here. All right, so let's just solo some of these drums right now. I got the cymbal here. Standard, simple, nothing too crazy. We got these hats, so I added a loop writer to these hats. If I can find them, right here. I added a loop writer and a bit of delay. We're gonna turn both of those off. Just take a look at them right here. So just really spacey, kind of a really simple pattern. It just gets sauced up a little when you add these. So I got a little bit of delay, nothing crazy. Just on the two here, ping pong, just to make it go back and forth between channels. Loop Raider. This plugin is incredible. I just use it almost all the time. I use it for melodies, I use it for drums. It's just great. So added a little bit of this delay effects here, and then add a little bit of forward reverse, like on the next two. So see how it sounds like now. Yeah, so we got that, and those hats already sound great. So then we got the 808. So you know I have to go for the spins, and yeah, if you produce hip hop, you know the spins. So got this pattern right here. Yeah, so there you go. Effects. I got Camel Crusher on there. I got Wave Shaper on there. But to go back to this little, I added this envelope. So if you guys don't know, essentially, you go into this, you turn everything down except the hold, which you max, and that way the 808 will cut off. The moment you want it to cut off, right here, it'll stop. So right there, it stops. So for this kind of beat, it just adds a little bit of that bounce, So just have that. I have a few slides up here. So to create a slide note, I'm sure some of you guys are like, what is this guy? Like, I've known this for years, but yeah, to create a slide note, you go here to a note, double click, and you click that. It's already clicked in, but you click that and you hit accept, and then the note just kind of slides up or down, whatever you want. So that's how you do that. And yeah, the 808, nothing too crazy. I kind of just follow the bass notes with the beat, to be honest. The beat, nope, the loop. All right, so now we got this kick here, the rack kick. I think you guys probably know the rack kick too. It's kind of just following the 808 almost exactly. So here's that. Alright, so yeah, nothing on that really. We got a wave shaper there to. I should explain this earlier. The wave shaper just kind of adds distortion, but not in a very intrusive, like high-end, annoying kind of way. Just adds a little bit of more volume, I guess, and just makes things slap a little harder. So add that to anything you want, really. Got this open hat now. Just plays before every kind of snap, and we'll get into the snap later. But here's this. It's got kind of like a different feeling. Yeah, so there's that. We got this rim. Chill out. We got this little rim here that's kind of like an accent. Normally I'll add the snare, the clap, the snap like earlier, but for some reason I really felt like adding it last. I don't know why, but yeah, just a little bit of bounce on those. We got like nothing effects wise going crazy on that. We got the standard kind of bounce snare you see in a lot of beats, to be honest, like pretty much every beat. It's on the exact spot where you expect, so I play with the metronome. It's literally just that, just adds that little bit more. That's kind of my go-to pattern too, so just just be using that. I wanted to add a little more to the hi-hats, so I added this secondary kind of hat here. I added some effects here to make it sound kind of wider, essentially, but here is what that sounds like. Play with this. And it's kind of quiet and it's kind of in the background and only plays in the second half of the hook, so it's not too crazy or anything. It just plays 2 times the beat in general. So there's that. Then finally we got the snap, which long time coming, but yeah, essentially for these R&B beats you could use a snare, you could use a clap or anything, but it's just a unique opportunity to use something different. So I chucked in the snap and yeah, it just sounds great. I think no effects on it either. It just has a little bit of reverb naturally, so. And yeah, that's pretty much the beat in terms of the drums. Let me just play all the drums together real quick. Yeah. But yeah, that's essentially the drums there. Let me explain what I did with the structure here a little. So we got a love filter in this part of the intro just to kind of make it really ambient and stuff. So you get it. We got the space delay. Now the space delay, massive shout out to Producer Grind for showing us how to do that. It's kind of like a transition into the hook from this breakdown. So let me just play the breakdown from the start. So a little bit of kind of distortion-y like delay that hits at the end. It just kind of brings in the hook like in a natural way, like at least I think so. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much the beat. I'm gonna play this whole thing, top to bottom. So peace out, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna head out.